There's another video. So here we are at the Sony booth, actually on the floor. It looked pretty cool. I'm not sure if they'll pan over to the right here again. But yeah, it looks like the booth is pretty cool. It's a nice setup. You notice in the top corners of each doorways here, you'll see like a title of the game that's showing there. So here they got Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Is what they're in right now. So she's very excited about the light outside the controller. I'm not sure if you guys know about that as well, but so yeah, there basically is a light on the controller, and it's able to change, you know, say for example if you're running low on health or the battery in the controller itself is actually dying, it'll start to flash red. Well, it's very interesting though that the light would be white for Assassin's Creed. I'm really curious about that. Well, I see a change of color is there right now. Yeah, it's turning red and blue and green for some reason. Not quite sure what mode that is, what's happening there, but yeah, the light is changing on the controller there as well. I think she's taking damage. Maybe that's why it's going like that. So here we are, we have Edward Kenway on the pirate ship here. There's a little bit of a Geronimo belly flop into the water. Of course, this is a seamless gameplay for the new Assassin's Creed. It was very, I think that was a big improvement that they made from the last ones. Pretty much all the series. There's always a lot of loading in them, a lot of loading, and I mean, I experienced like practically no loading on my PC for the Assassin's Creed series, so I mean, I'm used to that because I have an SSD on it, so it literally goes to that loading screen for like a second and goes back to the actual game. So yeah, I'm glad to see that there's no more loading screens from what I can see here. I don't see any loading, you know, it's strictly, she just hopped off the boat, the Jackdaw, and now she's back on a mission, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. That's good to see, you know, they've gotten rid of the stupid loading screen, so that's good. I mean, this is next gen after all. But at the same time, I'm not sure if we're sacrificing graphical fidelity for that. Because, yeah, I mean, it looks good, but I don't know. I think it could look better. But, you know, at the same time, obviously this is a flippin' huge game. So I can't expect them to have, like, you know, amazing textures for every single thing on the next gen here. But yeah, we'll see what they do for next year. In my opinion, I'm predicting, this is a bold prediction here, but I am predicting that there will be ninjas, Assassin's Creed ninjas. I mean, it only makes sense, man. Like, ninjas are like, they invented that shit, man. I mean, can you imagine the storylines that you could actually have with, like, you know, you could have ninjas like in Japan, and maybe they can invade China or something, and like, I mean, that's what ninjas were. They were assassins. I mean, and they were in the shadows. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool. So Ubisoft, if you're hearing that, please make a ninja game, Assassin's Creed. It's about time. And it seems like that's what they want to do anyways. They want to start making this ridiculous games, as they said, for Assassin's Creed. So that's why this one's a pirate game. And maybe, you know, it only makes sense for ninjas. You could have pirates versus ninjas or something like that. Like, alright, so you guys seen this gameplay before. I guess I'll pause it and see what else comes up here. Okay, so here we got Killzone Shadow in the booth over here. So he's got the light is green on a controller, so it looks like that might be the health bar. I'm assuming green means, you know, you have good health. Then it starts to deteriorate from there to like red, or maybe a flashing red, I'm assuming. That's pretty cool. So again, like these are like the little touches, and not to mention like the speaker that's on the controller as well. These little touches that can, you know, just add a little bit of you know, interactivity with the game that you're playing. It looks pretty cool there. So yeah, in this Killzone, definitely you can tell there's a huge difference. It's not like the other ones where it's all dull and dark. I mean, I didn't really enjoy the single player of Part 3 at all. I didn't even finish it, to be honest. I got bored of it. But yeah, this one here, it's more interesting. It's more colorful. You can do more things. Like there's a zip line that you have now in here, and of course it's violent. I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Gears of War. I'm not really a violent person, as oddly as it sounds, but I mean, of course, you know, I'm an '80s kid, so that's what I grew up with, man. I got Commando and Rambo and shit like that. I mean, if you're gonna make some action game or something, at least, you know, do it ridiculous, like. I do some ridiculous like stuff like in Gears of War or Killzone is Shadowfall is doing here. In Killzone Mercenary, it looks pretty good too. It looks pretty the same thing. It's pretty ridiculous, ridiculous violence. So I mean, this is one of the games I'm definitely getting for next gen. It even, you know, I'm sort of on the fence about getting Battlefield. To be honest, Battlefield 4. You know, it's not a bad game. I still respect it more than Call of Duty, but it's just, this is, for me, brings something new, and again, it's just like, this the factor, like the way how the game plays, it's like heavy, like Gears of War, like, it's realistic, you're not flying around, like running everywhere, but, you know, there's actually some strategy with that, so I definitely like that concept for multiplayer matches. I mean, you can't just be a one-man team. I mean, facing like, if you at least got two people on the other team that know what they're doing, that's all it takes, you know. But this is the campaign, obviously. Here, this is single player. Trying to see the color on the controller there, the lights. I didn't really catch it. If it was blinking, it's green. It's back to green again. I saw some reflection in her on the controller there, but yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if there's any sounds coming from it too. I did hear. I forgot what game it was. It was either Battlefield, I believe it was, or Watch Dogs. Something, one of those games, like you could hear like commands and missions from the controller. So I think that's pretty cool. It adds that little bit of extra sound if you have a surround sound. Or maybe they'll even be able to output audio to the headset that comes with the PS4. That would be pretty damn cool. So you'll actually be hearing, you know, the voices, you know, HQ or whatever, in your ear. That would be pretty cool. I've experienced that before on the PS2, I believe, or the original Xbox, like OG Xbox. The hell was that? Kill Switch, I think was the game was called. Kill Switch. That was like the original. Like Gears of War pretty much copied it straight up. To be honest, in the sense of the cover system and blind fire. I mean, that was the first game I think that really showed that, I believe. But yeah, they also were innovative in a sense with the headset. You plug in the headset and you can actually hear the HQ through the headset that's plugged in. And I'm surprised like not a lot of games have been using it at all for a 360 PS3. It looks like it's coming back for the this next gen. Hopefully, like I said, I mean, hopefully they'll be able to use that. That would be a pretty damn cool feature to bring in. I mean, I'm assuming they could do it if it has output. Oh wow, that's pretty cool here. Didn't mean to cut myself off. I guess it's pretty weird, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks like she's playing Knack via remote play on the new PlayStation Vita. And yeah, Knack is another game I'm actually excited about too. You know, pretty much all the first-party titles I'm getting at launch for the PS4. I mean, it's a nice game just to take a little bit of a break. It's nothing too serious. You know, this is a fun game. It'll show off the effects and the power of what the PS4 can do, in a sense of physics. You know, how many moving particles you can have on the screen, and they're each independent to each other, and independent lighting and stuff like that. I mean, it sounds stupid or silly, I guess, but you know, it's a funny game. A fun game. Like, you know, at launch, there's not really too much fun, silly games. Besides maybe, you know, Knack, some indie games like Contrast, and yeah, everything else is pretty much like shooting, or, you know, shooting again. Third-person shooting, first-person shooting. Everyone's shooting everywhere. And yeah, that's why I want to get Knack. Knack is something different. It's not shooting. You're not shooting anyone. Like, you're just breaking stuff. It's just a fun game. There we have a nice look at that. Look at all the particles there. She just said "kakoi." That's like cool. It means like, wow, that's so cool. Like she was saying, he can go from like 10 meter tall to like some centimeters tall there by pressing a circle button, I believe. And there's another feature. So it's a friend item feature. So I guess your friends could get items. It looks similar to the system on the Vita, like the Nair system they call it, where you get some items for games and you get trade stuff. But I think this is actually items you could actually use. So you can share with your friends, and your friends can pick up stuff. That's pretty cool. Nice little social feature in there. Alright, so Soul Sacrifice for the Vita here. I'll pause it until it gets into some gameplay, since we're already hitting 13 minutes here. So here we have Soul Sacrifice on the PS Vita. They just showed the ad hoc connection. So, you know, I guess it has the Wi-Fi without Wi-Fi. So there's no internet, but basically if you're within the same vicinity as PS Vitas, other PS Vitas, you can just actually play with each other in Soul Sacrifice 2. I believe the same feature was in Part 1 as well. Basically, it's just another Monster Hunter type of game. Except this one, you can just basically play it on the go. Better graphics. Okay, so I'm going to pause this here until we get to another one. And yeah, so it looks like that was pretty much all the games so far for the Sony area. I'm not sure, there's probably some more. I'm pretty sure they're going to be showing some later on. And yeah, so I guess that's all. It's a pretty cool view there. His head is shining like the sun. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. If there's anything else new, I'll let you guys know. Have a good one. Say, say, say.